Elven Air, hello, hello, welcome in. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It is Friday. It is almost the new year. I'm tired. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Wonderful Christmas week. It's time. It is time. Let's see what we can do. See if we can remember how to draw. That's really the big thing. See if we can remember how everything works. What should we do for a New Year's rugby here? That's how a rugby do, right? I need to get the Twitch chat saved. But I don't know if that'll be the right one. It should be. I don't know why it's like that. Whatever. Put it over here. Uh-oh, can people hear me? That's a good question. Test, test. Yes, okay, we're fine. We're set up. I had a great week. Got the new car I mentioned. Nice. Had a great family Christmas. Christmas one too. Yeah, it was pretty good. Another crayon drawing of rugby. Pretty much. Pretty much. Over the next 3 minutes, I have to remember how to draw from scratch. We'll slowly make Rugby's ears a little bigger. And go from there. How you doing, David? Hope you're doing well. I did that thing where I had family coming to town and I just beat the hell out of my body, so we went to a big seafood restaurant yesterday, which is pretty great. The family was just like going to town, and I was like, I'm gonna have corn. It was pretty fun, though. Maybe drunk rugby for next New Year's. We could do drunk rugby. That could be fun. What would make a drunk rugby? You look so sad. Drunken Master Bugbear for the win. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. That's a pretty good way to do it, actually. Let's try this for realsies. See what we can do here. Okay. What does one look like when they are drunk? It's been a while. Kind of droopy and giggly. There we go. That looks about right. Incoming ad break for no advertisers. I guess I don't know if there's anybody on Twitch. There might be, but It's going to be hard to make rugby look more disheveled than normal. But I bet we can do it. We do have a pretty good list today. So I'm looking forward to that. Today's starting early. Walker, hello, hello. Monikery? Did I say your name wrong? Have I been saying your name wrong this whole time? Is Moniker a different person? Monikery, welcome in. We're gonna start with some silly sketches just to warm up, and then we'll get into the D&D. One of my family members decided to start DMing. I take that back. They decided to start playing D&D with their kids, and they've never done it before, but their kids really wanted to play. And they called me, and they're just like, "Oh no, I have no idea what I'm doing." I'm like, "That's all right." Like, it happens. It's totally normal. The fact that you're trying is the important part. It is kind of one of those things where I only really knew how to DM because of playing and then having a DM show me how to DM. And so whenever you're... No, it's me. Okay, gotcha. It's always a weird time when a family member calls you and tries to learn D&D. It's happened a few times to me. So, but yeah. Like, I learned how to play D&D by playing D&D with other people. And so if you just ever wanted to like sit down and pick up a book and learn how to play, it's very, very daunting. I could definitely see that being stressful, so my hat's off to them. I think I want Rugby's ears to be a little bigger. Make his head look really small for New Year's Rugby. He needs a hat. There we go. I just about wrote 2003. I guess it should say 2024, right? That should tell you something about how old I am. I remember going from 1999 to 2000. Like, that was hard. It was hard to transition. Writing the first two numbers differently. Ugh. And then in 2011, it was like, well, back to 2001. It's like, dang it. Does anybody have fun New Year's plans? I gotta start thinking about the next video. What should the next Why You Should Play video be? thinking maybe Psychopops. It's kind of fun to play. Kind of fun to say, too, as well.
Hello?
Corvus, welcome in. Happy almost New Year.
Thank you.
How's your Christmas?
Christmas was okay.
That's good. That's good.
Mostly okay.
There we go. That's a good drunken rugby. Oh, what do you do with a drunken rugby? What do you do with a drunken rugby?
Gave his belly with a rusty razor.
Is that how the song goes?
One version of the song, yes.
Is that old school drunk pranks since we didn't have Sharpies? You shaved people?
I mean, when you're on a ship, then probably, yeah.
Let's give him tetanus. That'll be funny. I have cut myself with a straight razor more times than I can imagine, and every time it happens, it's like, how clean was this? Like, do I take care of this enough? It's always nerve-wracking. It's not rusty. It's by far not rusty at all, but, like, still. Still. Are you gonna go shopping later? Not exactly sure. Nice. Elvin Harris says, Happy New Year's, Corvus.
Thank you, Elvin Hair.
I went out and about amongst the people this this week. I can't stand people. not just like people in general, but like there were just people that would stand next to you and then just like cough violently. It's just like, why? Just don't stand near other people if you're sick, please. So
Why are you being this way?
yeah. So I'm hoping that I'm not gonna get sick in the next couple days, but we'll see what happens. Where are Rugby's cheeks? I just now realized. Are they up here? I guess so. Stardust, hello, hello. You draw a goblin dressed like a dragon. Yeah, we can do that. I will put it on the list for you. Otherwise, have a lovely day if you know where you are. Yeah, thank you. We'll do both. Hopefully, we'll do both. This rugby needs a New Year's hat, and then I think we'll start drawing some stuff. So the way this works for people who have not joined us before, I have a list of things to draw, and we roll some dice, and we let the dice gods decide what to draw. So, yeah. Tiny goblin! Yeah, I love those little emotes. Those are fun. I need to make more emotes for the YouTube chat. Not that there's not a few, but they're for members only, so like, they don't get used very often.
New Year's resolution, make more emotes.
Yeah. I'll put a poll up on the YouTube so people can decide what color to use. I need to cut that. Oh, I'm so tired. Today's a tired day. Today's a everyone go to sleep day. Were you live on Wednesday? I was not. I put up a YouTube short. But no, I took most of this week off. So today's the day. I am using the viewer suggestion from Monday, so if you post it on Monday, I do have all of your suggestions. But yeah, let's actually just get right into it. Let's get right into it. I need me some dice. Can't see it. I rolled a nat 1. Alright, cool. A 30-year-old purple tiefling, Western outlaw gunslinger. Alright. Uh-oh, he's supposed to be purple. I guess it's the first one of the day. I was going to draw purple anyways, so... That worked out. That worked out. Welcome in more people that are joining us now. Hope you're doing well. I'll probably say it a few times today, but I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. A Merry Krampus.
I'm trying to think of what's that Discworld version of Christmas.
Discworld Christmas is called... Oh, shoot. I know it's the Hogfather, but I don't remember what they celebrate.
Yeah. Hogsmith?
I was going to say Hogswash, but that's not right.
Should never trust a hog wallop.
Hog wallop?
Sorry. Reverend for a movie.
Okay. Was that Jeff Bridges? The Jeff Bridges impression?
No.
Oh, all right.
Did you ever watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
The really tall, kind of lanky guy when they meet his cousin early in the movie. And when he like turns him into for the bounty, he says, "You should never trust a hog wallop."
Got it. Hogs Watch Night. That's what it is.
Hog.
The Hogfather grants children's wishes on Hogs Watch Night, December the 32nd. I do like the Hogsfather. What? I don't think... Is the Hogfather always the skull, or is that... Did death help for that episode? I need to watch the movie.
I don't know. I just know the world of the setting of Discworld, like tangentially from other things.
I should just read it. I should read the Discworld series.
It feels very Hitchhiker's Guide to me.
A little bit, yeah. Because it's written by Terry Pratchett.
Mm-hmm.
I think him and Douglas Adams talked. Like, would you consider them contemporaries? I think you would. But maybe not. Maybe someone else would know better.
He's still alive, so... Or was.
Terry Pratchett? Terry Pratchett died a while ago.
2015, so not that a while ago.
Well, that was 8 years ago.
It's still into 2000, like late 2000s.
Okay. When did Douglas Adams? I don't know if Douglas Adams is still alive. I don't think he is.
He passed away in 2001.
Okay. Ah, 2024. I never thought I would live this long.
Well, it ain't 2024 yet, so.
True. It's true. I never thought I'd make it to 2020, so. Where are those best version of the Odyssey? Tell me I'm wrong. And no, it is what it is.
Then one of the more entertaining versions of the Odyssey.
Yeah. Yeah. Turned into a toad.
They load them up and turn them into a horny toad.
I love that actor. Buster Scruggs.
He played an outlaw.
I need to finish that movie too. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Scruggs? Suggs? I don't remember.
I don't.
It was pretty good. Bunch of little vignettes, little shorts. Western eclectica. Just found out the Color of Magic movie this year. 100% stealing the chest and giving it to my players. I don't know that one. White Lasagna? I don't know what that one is. Color of Magic. That sounds really familiar. I'm thinking of Name of the Wind, though. Color of Magic, eh? Bri, welcome in. I had a very Midwestern weekend story, but I don't know if it's appropriate. My family was in town, and so we went to go look at guns. As you do. And we called the place, and they're like, hey, do you have this gun? And they were like, we're too busy to look. And it's like, well, that's not helpful because you guys are like an hour away. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to look. It's like, great, okay. So we drove over there, and we got there, and the lady in front of us was buying like 4 guns.
Oh, dear.
And she had bought so many guns and things that she could not carry them out of the store by herself. And she was just like, she had this bag, and she was like trying to arm wrestle it, and I was like, do you need help? And she's like, no, I'm fine. And I was just like, I don't know what's happening. It was really funny. And then we get there, and we're like, hey, we called about this thing, and you wouldn't look it up. They're like, yeah, we don't have that. And I was like, you guys suck. So that was my weekend. But the little old lady buying a bunch of guns was just like, yeah, that feels right. That feels right. Dropping in and running soon. No problem. No problem, Brian. That's totally fine. Apparently in Washington now, the little semi-automatic 22 rifles are considered assault weapons. And so you have to fill out paperwork a little differently. Then it was really funny because the family member I was with, like, I bought one of those when I was 10. And it's like, yeah. The world has changed. The world has changed. I forgot to make a suggestion. Can I still add it to the list? Well, just, yeah, post it in chat and I'll add it to the list for you. How can I make this guy look more like a gunslinger? More buckles. When does too many buckles make you look more like an alchemist and less like a Gunslinger. That's the question. A rubber chicken ninja? Is that a ninja that uses rubber chickens, or is a rubber chicken and a ninja? Merry Glockmas. I think the Gloctopus is still one of my favorite homebrew monsters of all time. Is rubber chicken. Okay. Anybody else have funny family stories for this week? No squirrels jumping out of Christmas trees? No. Forgetting your kid at home? Is a rubber chicken a golem? Technically, no. I don't know what a rubber chicken would be. Like, if it's actually made out of rubber, I guess it'd be a construct, yeah. But I think a golem is a very specific construct, but maybe not. A flesh golem, rubber golem, I guess. Rubber golem made out of chicken. Looks like a chicken. That'd make sense. We could do that. Oliver, welcome in. Merry Crabgrass. I started watching this morning Sam and Frodo playing Baldur's Gate. I had to stop watching it, but I'm excited. That looks funny. I had a very Lord of the Rings Christmas, so I'm very happy about that.
So Sean Austin and
Elijah Wood. Yeah.
Yep, I was like, Isaac? Nope, not Isaac.
Isaac Newton. Famed Frodo Baggins. Rubber chicken is the tamest, least kinked version of the rubber golem construct available. All right. Fair. I still want to play a gunslinger that uses a shotgun. I think that would be really fun. I've designed it a few times, but I've never gotten to actually play it. Just use brush weapons all the time. Started watching Endor again with my family. I'd seen that they hadn't, and I was just like, yeah, let's watch it. That sounds fun. That's a great series. They did a really good job with Endor. So even if you're not a huge Star Wars nerd, I think that's a good, easy one to jump into. It's not about Jedi, it's not about Sith Lords, it's just about people in the Star Wars universe, which I appreciate. Had to look deep into my D&D list for that one. Fight with a bearded axe and heal with black tea? Black tea? What is black tea? And how does it make them heal?
Black tea is normal tea.
It's on the list. Does normal tea heal you?
Mm-hmm.
did an axolotl wizard once, I think. Their commission exists somewhere. This week is the last week for the, actually I guess the last few days of the end of the year sale. So if you're looking to get something commissioned, let me know. As of next week, I'll be back to normal pricing. Contact me on Discord or on through via email. Depending on how traditional your Chinese medicine and deeply you believe in it. Oh, alright. My buddy played an Axolotl Folk Rune Knight. He was voted to be team leader?
Team leader?
Team leader? Sorry. It keeps getting, like, that end of the text always gets covered up. Earning him the title of democratically elected King Globe. Okay. As busy as character was, I saw Video Game Pass switch it gun combo with pistol, hand, shotgun, and rifles. It's trying to use every weapon as often as you could and use magic on them too. That could be fun. Yeah, the Pathfinder like magic weapons and advanced firearms can be really, really fun. I love giving people like exploding bullets or fire bullets for revolvers and stuff. Percy did a really fun thing with like enchanting the barrels of the gun. I thought that was interesting as a means of like giving you special kinds of shots a number of times a day. I think that's great. I think that's really fun. I usually just enchant the bullets and then make you reload, so you have to kind of choose what you're doing when you load the gun. Pew 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 pew. The wrong kind of handle.
I think in Percy's case it worked pretty well considering he was using like a pepper box, which you have to turn the barrels, so.
Yeah, I think that worked out really well, because then it was easy for him to just choose which barrel he was shooting. Without too much issue. I had a friend who was playing a gunslinger, and I only gave her so many rounds of fire ammo. And what she would do is she basically said, every time I load the gun, I'm going to load one explosive round, because I had it basically be like a tiny fireball, it just did splash damage. And then she would just spin the chamber, so she never knew where it was. And every time she fired, she'd like draw tokens out of my bag, and if she drew the red one, it fired the explosive round. It was pretty fun. LG, welcome in. My sinuses are killing me today. It's really neat gameplay mechanic. Yeah, I like doing that kind of stuff. Like dropping your phone on a radiator, probably not a good idea. I would avoid that in the future. Saw a YouTube short this morning speaking about gunslingers. The guy was like, So they make speed loaders for revolvers, which looks like this. And he like showed how the speed loader worked. And he's like, there's a faster way to do it though. Then he fired his gun, and then when he ran out, he just pulled out another revolver. And I was like, yeah, that feels about right. So I like the idea of just like going into combat with multiple pepper boxes or whatever, and then just never reloading. Just have more guns. The Reaper model. Sounds like firearms are will become your tables and others. Oh yeah, like I don't have a problem with it because I played back in first edition Pathfinder, where firearms had touch AC, like so they counted the same way that like a lightning bolt would, and they were really powerful then. And so now in 5e, it's just a hand crossbow for all intents and purposes, which is kind of a bummer. But I like finding fun ways to make it more entertaining. I have no problem with the fantasy schism that happens. And people are like, yeah, it's not my fantasy. It's like, well, okay. You know, that's your call. It's your call, not mine. One of these days...
You're called to be lame.
Yeah, if you want to be lame and wrong, that's totally your call. I'm not going to stop you.
I get it, of course.
One of these days I'm going to sit down and learn how to draw cuffs correctly. But not today. Not today.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan. I refuse to learn. We can go a little more cleaner though, a little more on point. Maybe go a little sketchier so it doesn't look quite so jagged. Whew. Gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Whew. That feels way better. Thank you. No, I haven't dropped it in anything yet. Oh, yeah. Apparently one of the most common things that people have to repair phones for is people dropping them in the toilet. So don't do that, and you're better than most. Was playing with the cats, not even a foot away from the ground, slipped out and cracked. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I think I'm done with this one. I don't know what else to do with it. I want to do this, though. Whatever this is, I don't know what it's going to be, but we need some lines over here. Maybe something like this. We'll just let people's imaginations kind of infer whatever's going on here. Maybe he's got smoke coming up. Maybe he's got tentacles.
You don't know.
You don't know. You don't know, but it seems right. It's true, at least no drops in the toilet. I mean, yeah. Don't drop your phone in the toilet, people. It's bad. Bad for everybody. Here we go, rolling dice. I rolled a 19. which is the last one on the list. Axolotl, folk, barbarian, druid. They fight with a bearded axe. Nice.
Yes.
Well done. Came in with the clutch. What are we drawing? Blue? We can do blue. Ba-ba-ra-ba. Do. Axolotls are essentially just kobolds.
Amphibious kobolds.
Mm-hmm. My lungs are on my forehead.
Well, more on the cheeks than forehead.
Sure. Can axolotls regenerate everything? I think they can.
I wish I had an answer.
That's pretty dope. I like that.
Go axolotl dragon.
Has anybody seen Godzilla -1 yet? Or is that not out?
I haven't.
Let's see.
It's out
It's out.
in theaters. I just don't have. We don't have the money to go see it in theaters.
Sure. My family wanted to go see The Boys in the Boat. To which I was like, oh, good. Another sports movie. It turned out to be okay. but yeah, that was alright.
This is not another football movie.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen a lot of those. What was I saw a trailer. That looked really good. Oh, the new Dune movie looks good. Next year's gonna be good. There's gonna be a lot of fun movies next year. New Ghostbusters movie. Ooh, boy. I might have to do a Ghostbuster themed one shot or something. Unarmed barbarian swobold with unconvincing armor. What do you mean unconvincing armor? What a like Tell me more about that. I want to know more about this. It's on the list.
That could like be interpreted in many different ways.
Yeah. How weird would you make wait, hold on a second. I gotta read this. I feel like being a kobold would be scary. Would be saucy. I don't know. SACY because of how meek they are. Alone, I'd probably rather be changed to a gnoll. Yeah, I mean, kobolds being super weak is kind of fun. Like it's part of the charm of them, in my mind. I like playing them because they are so kind of squish. Any armor that doesn't cover or protect you properly. Okay, so normal barbarian armor, I think, would be fine. Like that's how we usually do it, just like a strap of leather. I can do that. That'll be easy. How would you have made your goblins? Like cave goblins, bog goblins, necro goblins, or the like? A lot of my goblins are like forest fey goblins or trash goblins. Like, yeah. Animal folk or animal farm. That's a good way to think about it. Because axolotls are kind of salamanders?
Yes.
Closer to salamanders than actual lizards.
It's not like they're closer. They're just straight up a type of salamander.
Yeah, so I mean visually, like they
Yeah.
do look like salamanders more than like scales or anything. So, which makes sense because you're right, they are salamanders. My point of clarification was unnecessary.
Sorry.
I should have just said salamanders. I should have said they are salamanders. Period. Swabbled, yeah.
They're basically like salamanders who are like
Don't mature.
stuck in between
Yeah.
a stage of metamorphose.
Tiny little hands. Eichmann, hello, hello. They're wishy-washy, non-committal salamanders. That's fair. Let me give you a shout out here. How you doing, Eichmann? Hope your Christmas went well. Hope your New Year's looking pretty good. Can they not regenerate missing body parts? That's kind of what I was wondering about.
Yes? Yeah, okay. The axolotls do not heal by scarring. It is capable of straight up regeneration
Interesting.
of entire lost appendages over a period of months.
Yeah. Nice.
In certain cases, more vital structures such as a tail, limb, central nervous system, and tissues of the eye and heart. They can even restore less vital parts of their brains. And that they also easily accept transplants from other individuals, including eyes and parts of brains.
Interesting. That I didn't know.
Hence why like a lot of I don't want to say bioengineering or anything, but like hence why they're kind of important in like medical sciences.
Mm-hmm. I studied. I think tigerfish was the thing I was looking at. Lionfish.
Big giant
One of the two.
chompy things,
No, I think it's
the spiny things.
the spiny
in the
things. Yeah.
ocean.
They have really good eye and retinal regeneration abilities. So we visualized some of their stuff and got to look at a bunch of their neurons regrowing and things. There were a bunch of people doing studies about that at the university. Not bad. Got to spend today putting the finishing touches on my Christmas gifts for my brother. Nice. We decided to do our gift exchange on New Year's Eve because we're all busy. Nice. That's cool. I like that. We're doing that as well. Some of my friends are getting together for Christmas Eve, and we're just going to bring all the stuff then. Axolotls can turn into salamanders, but they don't do so well in that form. They evolved to stay in the larval stage. Makes sense.
They're very unique because they were only found in the series of lakes in what is now Mexico City.
Interesting.
And when the Spanish decided to drain the lakes to build more onto the city, it basically started their extinction.
Huh. Now you can buy them all over the place.
Well, captive ones, yes.
Yeah.
But in the wild.
I would like to buy that wild capuchin monkey. It's like, yeah, sure, here, give me $20. Good luck. He's in the tree.
Another fun fact about axolotls, they are named after the Aztec god Xolotl, which is the Aztec god of fire and lightning.
Nice.
Whose name is also the name of the Mexican hairless dog.
Okay.
So, there are two animals, very different, that are named after this god.
That's funny.
Axolotls are named after him because he transformed into them to avoid being sacrificed by the other gods.
The chihuahuas or the lizards?
Xolotls.
Xolotls? Okay.
Yes.
1 second. Real
Well, axolotls.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm back. I'm alive.
Welcome back.
Oof. It is like hot and windy here today, and my allergies are just going crazy. Oh, that's a chihuahua? Okay.
Yeah. Because chihuahuas don't have...
Not
I mean,
chihuahuas.
chihuahuas have hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Fork Socket, welcome into the Discord. They're an evolutionary weirdo. Welcome to the informational part of the stream. Yep, that's how we do it here. I'm painting some stuff. I'm glowing things in magnets. Very tedious and boring. I'm sorry to hear that. I built a bunch of bracelets for Christmas presents this year. And I've done it in the past, but like, yeah. That part where you're just like, okay, now I have to tie 50 knots. Here we go. Not hard, it just takes time. I got the stink eye from a guy on the train the other day. Like, he walked past me and turned around and just stared at me, and I was like, alright, what? Like, what are you doing? Why are you just staring at me? I don't get it.
Why are you being weird?
Yeah. And I think it's because he caught me looking at his drugs, because he had drugs, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, do your own thing. Just stay away from me. And so he just, like, gave me the stink eye and started, like, walking backwards on the train. I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to engage with this. And then he, like, jumped up, grabbed the bars on the top of the train and did, like, a backflip. And then, like, a what? And then sat down, and I was like, guy's too cool for me. I can't do anything about this. It was super weird. I had a very weird week. Very weird week.
At least you didn't twist your ankle around like I did.
That's true. That's true. My ankles feel fine. So, go me. How's it doing, by the way?
This one's gone down a bit. So. Like, I know I didn't fracture it or anything because, like, I can still walk on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just located my heel once. That was not fun.
That sounds god awful.
Skateboarding. Skateboarding's a hell of a drug. Oh, I may have made a mistake. I went and shot a bunch of nasal spray at my nose because my sinuses are driving me crazy. And now my nose is running, so sorry everybody if I'm sniffling. I'm gonna do my best not to sniffle. Practicing guitar while watching the stream. Keep up the good art. Nice. How's this tiny little dragon lizard doing? You say he was the god of fire and thunder? Is that right?
Yes. He also acted as a cycle pump.
Nice. Tell me more about that.
See.
I need to do a whole bunch of research for cycle. I can't breathe now. I sound like I'm dying. I'm sorry, everybody. Take over the stream.
Words, talkie. Curiosity code.
I mean, I guess I got what I wanted. I was hoping to clear out my sinuses, and now it's just like, yep, here we go.
Okay, so he was generally depicted as a dog-headed man who was the soul guide for the dead.
And that's what psychopomps are, right? Like, there's essentially reapers. I guess guides. Guides is a better term.
Yeah. They don't necessarily do the killing or reaping of lives. They more or less just kind of take over after someone does. I mean, sometimes they may do it. Like Thanatos in Greek mythology is like the god of death. Like, actual death. And so he very much is in charge of taking out people, or specifically people who've not died in war.
What was the? Is it Dead Like Me? Where he actually has to go out and kill people.
Yep, she got killed by a space toilet.
That's right.
not even joking. There was like space junk and a toilet fell and hit her and killed her. Only reason I remember that is because it was basically in the intro all the time. He was also seen as the god of twins, monsters, misfortune, sickness, and deformities.
All right.
Yep. His twin brother was Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In which axolotl actually means water monster, in the Mexica language.
Do your best. That's all you can do. If
Well,
someone gets mad because you pronounced it wrong, have them correct you and then move on.
No, it was someone said it once, and I was trying to just remember how they said it, and they said it the correct way. So.
I kind of had to... Go ahead.
It looks like you would say, like, Mexica.
Okay.
It's Mexica.
Mexica. I had to make a call with the Mary Lloyd video.
Oh.
Because I kept looking it up,
yeah.
and like, there's like 1,000 different ways to say it, and a whole bunch of people say it differently, and then a whole bunch of people contradict each other. And so I just picked the one that seemed the most right, and then it was the wrong one. And I had 2 different people say like, "Oh, I'm Welsh. It's pronounced this way," and they told me 2 different ways, and I was like, "Great." so there is a point where you just have to kind of got to go with it.
So that's the thing. Like whenever you look at Welsh, Irish, and like Scots Gaelic stuff, depending on where you live, will change the pronunciation and spelling.
Washcloth.
Yep.
Which is fun. Like when I was a kid, we constantly had arguments about creeks and cricks, and I said wash. We would wash the car, but you would ask for a washcloth, and it's like, why not use the same word? It was really weird, but that's just how Idaho is. It's just a little bit of mixing of everything.
Yeah, it was because like it sounds like you may have had like some like Appalachian influence in there.
Mm-hmm. Savage 1905 would be fine. Totally fine. Botanical brew. How am I supposed to interpret that? Yeah. Plants. Plant juice. Sounds pretty good.
Hot leaf water. Tea.
That's fair. I think I'm done with this little guy. I don't know what else to do with him. It's kind of a soft little sketch, but I like it. Lightning! Lightning and thunder. Pretty sure all juice is plant juice. I think so. Yeah. Yep. I had a whole bunch of V8s that expired in like March of this year, and I'm like, they're probably still good. Probably, and then it became a thing of like, well, now I'm not gonna drink it because I haven't drunk it, so I threw them all away. I felt really bad. 13. We're on the next one. Here we go. Mutant and Masterminds. Okay. A portal hero snow leopard folk who can shape portals into blades. Didn't I draw that last week?
Yes.
I feel like I already drew that one. Well, let me look. I'm going to look once. And if I find it in my folder from last week, I'm not going to draw it again. I did say people could resubmit the things over and over. Blue. Just a little bit. Okay, we can do that.
So like a magenta.
Yep. That's what I was going to do. A lot of things have dogs on them. What? Why is there a dog on the logo? Or is that a wolf? Okay, so people are having a conversation outside of chat. Got it. Used to be sorceress, wingless wonder, whatever this thing is. All right. Touche. Touche, everybody. You got me again. Da 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 da. All right, here we go. This is a giant bean. We can draw giant beans. It's pretty close to just a rugby. Like, not gonna lie.
It also kind of looks like if someone cut off the head of a mind flare and spread out the legs from the top of the head.
Like a mind flayer Velguli. That's a terrible thought.
Why you should play a mind flayer Velguli?
Do you hate your players?
Take a page out of Gary Gygax's book and send them to hell.
Yeah. Don't just turn them into mind flayers. Turn them into headless floating mind flayers. That way they can never transform back. Don't mind us. That's fine. You guys talking in chat is great. It's fine. I'm not gonna comment on that. I'll walk into a conversation. I have no idea what's going on. Natural herbal extracts. Not sketchy drinks, yeah. Mug root beer is the most natural soda that has a dog on it. It could be dog juice. You never know.
Bug juice.
Bug juice. Is that a drink?
Yes. It was a... It may still be around. A highly sugar, slightly fruit-flavored drink.
I used to drink an energy drink before, like, energy drinks were huge. There was one called Balls. That's all it was called. It was called Balls. And it came in like a... And the bottle looked like this. And it was just covered in spikes. It was just a spiky ball bottle. It was really funny. And it tasted like battery acid. That was before Monster was a thing. Probably just as bad, if not worse for you.
I feel like any energy drink is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I am biased.
Why is that?
It's just every time I've tried to drink an energy drink, I don't feel good.
Yeah. What is so weird about their dog? Sus doggo the drink, huh? I feel like I need to add more to this, but I don't know what it would be. Did anybody else watch the new Rick and Morty season? It was quite strange. I feel like every other episode was just like a filler episode. And it was like a filler episode of old memes. And then they did one where they tried to do Total Recall as the whole episode plot. And I was like, this is alright, but it was just weird. Man. It's getting weird. It's getting weird on me.
Maybe they're running out of ideas.
Possibly. It's basically a whole new crew now. Like,
yeah, I knew that, like, one of the original writers, air quotes, was, like, kicked off. Or
well,
told to leave.
Don Harmon and what's his name? Shoot. The guy that voices Rick and Morty. They had like a falling out, and so Don Harmon's kind of just... Dan Harmon. I don't know why I keep saying Don. Dan Harmon's kind of just stopped participating. And then the voice actor kind of got into trouble and a legal battle and got fired from Adult Swim. And they replaced him, and so now it's basically a whole new crew of people making the show.
Yeah.
So...
Because, like, I know there was, like, a bit of drama where he was like, oh, you can't replace me because I'm the heart and soul of this show. And they're like...
Watch us!
Sure.
Yeah. Dan Harmon is a weird dude. Who's, like, self-loathing and ambition have created many great things. And I'm sure, like, taken a toll on him personally.
Yeah.
So, but like, he made Community, and if people haven't watched, it's hard to get. It's hard to watch because it's on like a specific, like, I think it was on.
Peacock?
It might have been on Peacock. But Harmon Quest was really, really funny. They played Pathfinder. And animated the show. It was really good. And they'd bring on a guest star every episode to play one of the NPCs or one of the just guest characters. Has anyone else played Qbert? Is that just me? It's an old Atari game.
Well, I never had an Atari, so...
This was Qbert. Qbert had to... the whole map was this. It was... blocks. Go look it up. It's actually pretty interesting of a phenomena. Like, it was the first real attempt of like a 3D puzzle game on 2D, which is great. And you'd have to like jump on these to change the color of them, and you try to cover all of the tiles without getting eaten. Stefan, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Blocks, cubes, even. Yeah, exactly. It was pretty good. That's what this thing feels like. This feels like a Mind Flayer Qbert. Now you're thinking with portals. Years ago, so it's not as bad, but it was years ago. One of my friends found an old crate of like Mountain Dew from the 70s. And we were like, yeah, let's drink that. That'll be fine. Pretty sure it'd like become alcoholic. It was not great. It was still fizzy. Oddly enough. I feel like this creature might have been another one of those things where Gygax just had a tiny little rubber monster from Japan, and this is what it was. This looks very much like that might be the case. Excuse me. You got the sniffles. Is this thing fluffy? I can't tell. I was a wizard once. He's thick. Absinthe in your local shop. Interesting. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of shenanigans that used to happen with that. Like, people said it was illegal, and then people would find it. It's like, you could buy it here. And then it was like, not actually absinthe. From what I hear, it's not that amazing as people used to think it was. Like, the mysticism is more than the actual. The myth is more grander than it actually is. I think I've had it once. But once again, who knows if it's actually real or not. I don't remember it being that special. Alright, I think I'm done with this bad boy. I don't know what else to do with him. I could give him a tattoo or something. But if he was a sorcerer... Yeah, I guess we could do something where, like, keeps his lineage. That'd be kind of interesting. I was a sorcerer once, until I came one too many spells that might be considered a war crime, so the gods cursed me into this form. Yeah, right? Now I'm unstoppable. A little bit Medusa, but because of other shenanigans. I dig it. What were people's go-to Christmas movies this year? I watched Batman Returns. That was my Christmas movie. I don't like all those swirls.
I'm back.
No movies this year, bummer. Welcome in. Welcome back, I guess. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm done with this guy. 4. Human warlock with a scythe, dark robes and a hood. Severe looking. Can do that. Zach will do green this time. Okay. Groon. Nope, I hate it. Try again. I need to look up some Alex Ross. He does the best capes. Cloaks, I guess. So good! Alex Ross is just an amazing artist. Like, regardless. I think I need the Watcher. Nope, not the Watcher. What was his name? Shoot. Dum dum dum. There we go. Alexander, hello, hello. Had a good Christmas? I did. How about you? I'm going to try to use this cover here. This is my reference. I freaking love this cover. Did you end up getting your Steam Deck, Corvus?
No.
Bummer. I was gonna say, because I think like you can play a lot of Steam games on it, which is really great.
They very much got a bit overly excited about getting me something and realized they did not have the funds at the time
That's good.
for that, so
I'm glad they figured that out beforehand. So
yep. So they said birthday present next year. I'm like, okay.
there you go. That's a good compromise. Wait until you got the money to do that kind of stuff.
Checked on her puppies. That's why I also twisted my ankle.
Chasing puppies around?
No, so their mom went into labor, what was it Wednesday night?
Gotcha.
Yeah, Wednesday night. And we managed to put her up in a stall to like just keep her in a spot where we wouldn't have to like dig underneath the barn to find the pups.
Gotcha.
So we managed to put her up, and I went out to just check on her, see how she was doing. And as I was walking out to the barn, I must have stepped in a little uneven spot in the road, which is a gravel road, so all of it's uneven really.
Let's
And
just
then
step on a
right
hook.
ankle just buckled.
Yeah. No good. No good.
No bueno.
I think that would be fine if a cool... Hold on a second, I missed something here. What do you think about giving your players a free feat for an upcoming brutal Western-themed one-shot? 1 or 2 feats is fine. Yeah, I usually... By the time players are like between 5 to 10, like I've usually given them 1 or 2 storyline based feats, just to like customize their characters a little better. I usually like doing that kind of stuff. I think it would be fine as long as you're cool with your plays being hit with stronger. Free feat makes them a bit stronger without making them too much stronger. Yeah, free feat is usually not game breaking. Especially like Tasha started doing the thing where basically everybody can be a variant human. Pathfinder also will run bonus dedication feats, which works out really well. It's not too game breaking, it just allows for a little more flexibility. Don't feel bad, course. I twisted my knee at the car dealership because of slippery parking lot. That sounds like you should have gotten a free car. Like,
Right?
Yeah. You guys didn't de-ice the road. That's weird. I'll take that one.
Yeah, and it's been an issue for a long time where my right ankle is like the weaker of my two ankles. It's like ever since I fractured it.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I used to have really bad. One of my arms was a lot weaker than the other one, so I had to do a lot of exercise to catch them up. A lot of free weights. But it's nice. It's nice to be able to recover from that stuff. But sometimes it takes a long time. A friend dislocated his knee and shattered his wrist at the same time when he was playing basketball. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Campaign.
Who wants to do those?
Yeah. The campaign I'm joining, everyone's getting a free feat in character creation. It's just so everyone can have a chance to build if they want. Yeah. It really isn't that bad. Like I said, you just have to be careful with it. To not be too free with the feats, because especially like in 5e, I am always early game. I want more feats so I can get things to be customized, but then like above 12, you don't need feats. So it's like you're either playing the first 5 levels of the game with a boring character, or you get to the end game and there's nothing to take. So it's kind of a weird way to look at it. You just have to figure out what you're doing. And sometimes, like, I've had people also just do, like, you can take a, like, class or proficiency feat additionally at the start of the game just to make your character a little more customizable, but then you can't take something like Sentinel or Polearm Master at that level. Just something to give you a stat boost or a proficiency that you wouldn't have normally. And that works out too. So there's lots of ways to do it. And generally it doesn't break much. But if you give them, say, like, a free feed every other level, like I have done in the past, they run out of things to take. And it's just like, I went into a Hot Topic over the weekend for the first time in, like, 10 years.
Oh.
It's not the same.
Oh. I was interpreting that very differently. Never mind.
No. Man.
I thought you meant like a hot button topic.
No. Hot Topic is a store in the mall.
Yes.
Where when I was in high school, like, that's where I bought almost all of my clothes. Now I buy all my clothes at, like, a Tractor Supply store, but yeah.
So you went from golf to
Farmer chic.
Yep.
I mean, really what it is I'm just a punk kid. I'm a punk kid at heart. And all the work boots I wore as a kid just started actually being useful.
Oh, Gemma.
It still had stuff like Gur merchandise and things like that, but
Yeah.
it was a lot less punk stuff and a lot more kitschy pop stuff. I was like, different. So. It'll happen to you. I need to put that as one of the things on the soundboard. Grandpa Simpson just being mad.
Eh. I mean, I always felt weird going into Hot Topic because I very much was not like what you were describing is basically how I've always seen Hot Topic.
Oh, fair. Maybe it didn't change and I did.
I mean, possibly, because it's like a lot of it is like, to me, was less punk and more of like the scene, like emo.
Yeah. So, that didn't exist when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And then that kind of became like the punk and goth kids that I went to high school with, like that became that. And I saw that happen in real time, like going to the same concerts year after year. Because like I started going to concerts when like Bad Religion would play and like No Effects, Flogging Molly and stuff, and it was great. And then all of a sudden it slowly became like AFI and then Yellow Card, and it was just like, this is not the same. Something has happened. And so I stopped going to those concerts, but yeah, it shifts. And now it's a lot more like cartoony stuff, which is fun. 1 second. Gotta go get Skip Cat's pills. Old man pills. That's not true. We have to drug him because he has to go to the vet tomorrow. So we gotta get him his chill the fuck out medicine. He does not like the doctor. I don't know if I told you guys that, but the vet was very surprised that he was alive when we brought him in last week. She's like, wait, this is the same cat? I'm like, yep. Like, from a year ago? And I was like, yep. She's like, okay. All right. So, he's chugging along.
Think your lucky stars,
Yeah.
kid.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it.
Skip Cat is an eldritch being, refusing to be slowed. I've decided for my next year resolution is I want to learn Tolkien's runes. I want to learn the Furmark? No, that's not right.
Ukark?
Yeah. Whatever it is. I thought there was an N in there somewhere. Just the Nordic runes. And sign language. I'm gonna try to get those like really imprinted in my head this year. So I might start doing stuff with that, just like as a warm-up. Go through the alphabet. That could be fun. Trying to think if I remember. OBBIT? Herbert? That might be the Hobbit. I don't remember. I'll have to look. My cat is very good at the vet. He flops over on the table and places his pills on the floor and then he eats them. Interesting. Yeah, no, Skip Cat will straight up fight people at the vet. He doesn't like being touched. Mind you, you can like convince him with food. He'll be super pissed off, and you're like, "You want some tuna?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is fine. Do whatever you want." But as soon as the food's gone, he just loses his mind. I think the antlers are wrong. It makes them look a little too much like a druid. But I want something. I want something around the head. Maybe we'll do something like this.
Maybe like the horns of the Horned Emperor from the Black Cauldron.
That's similar, but like more jaggedy, I guess? Is that right? The Horned Emperor from the Black Cauldron basically is the Lich from Adventure Time. Like, I think they stole his symbology 100%.
His shtick.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I don't know why I put 3 worst coverage paints to do last one and set of the player pieces. White, red, and yellow. Oof. Oof. I would love to make my own chess pieces. I might bust out the 3D modeling for that. But I don't know if I would paint them. I might just do like wood. Maybe carve them out of wood instead.
A nice dark walnut.
Something. Okay. I think I'm done with this guy. Lars is coming into town tonight, so I gotta get a little more stuff prepared. But I think we can keep going for a little while. It's only noon. High on catnip running into doors. Pixel will spin. Like, if you give him catnip, he'll just start, like, rolling and spinning in the floor. That's pretty funny. And painting Catan village pieces and roads. Yeah. Rook, most underrated animated villain in your opinion? Animated villain, huh?
Zahir.
Zahir? What is that?
Zahir from Legend of Korra Season 3?
Oh.
The Anarchist.
Yeah, he was kind of lame. What do you...
I thought it was great.
Sell me on it. Sell me on it. Go for it.
All right. So basically, his whole premise is he wants to get rid of the Avatar because the Avatar now is basically the tool of the man.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's right.
Sure.
Korra very much is a pro-establishment, like, type of character, despite her rather rebellious type of personality. She very much like sticks to the status quo, and he's like, no, the Avatar needs to be above the system, and you have decided to become part of the system, hence you are now the problem. And I appreciate that.
Okay. He's not wrong, he's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's good. That's a good one. I'm trying to think about underrated villains, though. So yeah, maybe that was good.
Because, like...
Right, I'm gonna roll
just so you know, he's not the guy with the mask. He's the bald dude.
Bald dude. Okay, maybe I need to rewatch that season, then.
Yeah, so the first villain in Korra is Amon.
Amon, who's who I was thinking of. Who I thought was kind of lame. I just rolled 2 17s. We don't have 17 on the list. That was really weird. The dice god just want me to suffer. 18. Okay. Cool. Cool. 14. There we go. All right. A goblin that is dressed like a dragon. We can do that.
Yeah. Amon's very lame because he's just a liar. Like, you're just a waterbender.
Man, the face stealer I think is great. Yeah. Like that was a big thing with Amon, is just like, you are a hypocrite. I don't like you. The other guy, I like, you're right. He was pretty badass. I don't know if he was underrated, but I obviously forgot about him, so you might be right. I think part of that is because, like, I watched the first season of Korra like twice, and then I didn't watch the other seasons for a while because it wasn't that good. And then I watched it. Season 2 was kind of hard, and then season 3 was really good. And so I'm like, okay, I'm glad I stuck through it. But I struggled through season 2 because I felt like they made Korra relearn everything again. It was just like, what if the same season, but again? And it's like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Why isn't this character learning? Why isn't this character growing? What are we doing here? We're doing purple this time. Draw a goblin dragon in purple.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, theoretically she was relearning stuff because she did lose most of her bending.
Right, but I mean, like, going through the whole first season, and then the second season just starting it over made the first season just feel pointless. Like, you should never have your characters relearn the same thing twice. It just feels... it's my same problem with Scarlet Witch, because they go through WandaVision and it's great, and she learns something, and then they put her in the Doctor Strange movie, and they just forget what happened during WandaVision and make her relearn the same thing again. And it's just like, what was the point of one of these stories? So that's very frustrating to me.
Like,
I liked Legend of Korra. Don't get me wrong. It's good.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand that it has issues.
Yeah. I feel like that was my big gripe with it, though, is that it felt like they wrote Korra poorly because they were because of that reason. Like, they made her feel like she had to relearn the same things over and over again. Which maybe that's realistic. I don't know, maybe times people forget. But having it back to back does not a good story make in my mind.
Yeah. Like, I like the overall premise of the second season, where, like, her uncle was trying to bring back the spirit world.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, he was kind of right.
Yeah.
And which then feeds into the issue in season 4, where, we can use the spirit vines to create nuclear bombs.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it, but I think the first season is split into 2 parts. Maybe that's where we're getting confused. I'm getting confused.
Maybe
because I didn't think there were 3 seasons, but now that you're saying there's 4, I'm really lost. So I'll have to look it up again.
Yeah. So, like, there's, like, the first season,
Scarlet Witch is a badass,
and I may be messing it up as well. That is always a fair assumption on my part. Like season 1 was like Amon and like the communists,
The communists?
the fake communists. They were like they
Yeah.
wanted like equality between benders and non-benders.
But really, they just wanted the benders to be in power.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
At least their particular bender that they had no idea was a bender.
Exactly, yeah. I will not lie, I will know nothing for these superhero characters, but Scarlet Witch is the baddest, especially after the shit does in Doctor Strange movie. No spoilers. Hearing about House of L? House of L? I don't know. I think I'm lost on that last part. But the Doctor Strange movie was good, except that it negated all of WandaVision, which I think was... I don't like the style choice they chose for it, but I liked the story. So, because they tried to make every episode a different genre of television, and that felt gimmicky to me, which it kind of was, but the story is good, and I just, some of those styles of like, oh, let's do one like Leave It to Beaver, it's like, don't do that. The House of L is a comic. Is that, I thought that was a Superman comic, but I might be thinking of the House of L. So, that might be something different.
Oh, I think I know why you or probably think there was only 3 seasons.
Okay.
Because the 4th season of Korra was only online.
Oh, so maybe I haven't watched it yet. I think I watched it, though. It's like after she went through the portal, right?
No, so season 4 ends with her and Kasumi going through the portal.
Okay. I might have just, it might have
it.
taken me, I might not have watched that for like 2 or 3 years after everything else came out. Could be why. I remember it had Wolverine. Interesting. Yeah, double check for that, LG. I don't know what that is. I want a villain that is undoubtedly evil, but you can just understand what he's about instead of this guy's just an asshole. You prefer more relatable villains than just evil for evil's sake and evil villains, okay. Yeah, evil villains are boring.
What?
But like I don't need every villain to also be the good guy, you know. There are definitely those characters that they're not wrong, they're just assholes. But like Thanos is a good example of that. It's like what he's doing makes sense. His argument makes sense. What he's doing doesn't make sense. It's like,
yeah.
So Thanos isn't wrong. He's just an idiot.
An idiot.
Yeah. I have all the power in the universe. I'll kill everybody. Or double the universe. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So, there's definitely both of those things. I'm a big... I just started watching... What was it? I started watching Reacher, which is a pretty good show. Based off the books about Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher? That's right, I think. Atomic Sorcery. Hello, welcome in. How are you? House of M. Okay, yeah. House of Magneto. Yes, that's right. Those are really good. Yeah, and those are really good. Polaris and Scarlet Witch in that series is solid. Scarlet Witch is super powerful. I love her. As WandaVision, kind of weird, but okay. And then in Doctor Strange, the character is just unhinged and isn't rational, which kind of makes me a little upset because I like what they did with her in WandaVision. So, hungry, it's lunchtime. Nice. Chi, welcome in. What was I drawing? I forgot. Oh, a goblin. A goblin dressed as a dragon.
Yes. So the kobold vendor, but with dragons.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of other underrated villains. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm watching the Reacher show, and they do this thing because Reacher is kind of bent on, what if we just killed everybody that deserved it? And so, instead of making you worry about the morality of it, they'll constantly just be like, hey, see this guy? Watch him beat up his girlfriend. And then Jack Reacher kicks his ass. And it's just like, okay. Like, it's very, very apparent who they want you to be the bad guys. They're just like, this guy is a dick. and we're going to show that to you first, and then it's just free beat 'em up after that. And so it's like, this is too overt. Like, I like a little bit of subtlety in there. I like the question of morality and like whether or not you should be beating somebody up, but at the same time,
that sounds like Chicago PD.
A little bit, probably. Like I bet it's in the same vein. Jack Reacher is a little bit of a detective show. Like it's a one man. I show up in town and solve mystery. Scarecrow's my favorite Batman villain. Scarecrow's pretty good.
What about Man-Bat?
Man-Bat is not a villain. He's just he's kind of a villain, but he's weird. He needs to be evil. He's also somewhat understandable. Evil for evil's sake is irritating and boring. Yeah, that evil but misunderstood is actually the good guy is also annoying. I agree. I think both of those are kind of lazy writing. You can do them both very well, but I feel like a lot of people just try to use those tropes as like, haha, there's a twist, and it's like, but if the twist doesn't make sense, it's gonna feel lame. I equate the two evil types of my two favorite villains from Dragon Ball. Evil for evil's sake is someone like Frieza, while a more relatable one is someone like Zamasu. I do not know who Zamasu is. Frieza just wanted destruction and wanted to be powerful and didn't care. So that's just greed. At the end of the day, that's just greed, which I think is fine. That's a fine motivating force for a villain. Scarecrow's my Batman villain. The Exterminator from the Collector. I think the Bone Collector. I don't know. Kirk Langston is Kirk Connors. What? Man-Bat is the Lizard. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Man-Bat and the Lizard are analogous.
What are you doing out of your cage, Lizard Man?
What are you doing out of your cage, Lizard Man? Pew! That's still one of my favorite lines from that movie. It's like it's not even like, hey, that guy got out. It's just like, hey, what are you doing? Dead. It's like, oh god, these guys are bad. These are the bad guys.
We the baddies?
Are we the baddies?
I will say, there are times where I do enjoy, like, the cartoonishly evil villains.
Oh, yeah.
Just...
like, Skeletor? I kept wanting to say Skeletor for the most underrated, but, like, I don't know. I don't know if I give him underrated. Like, everybody knows he's kind of tongue-in-cheek anyways.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, I just hate He-Man. That's it. It's just like... Yeah. What are we going to do today? We're going to fuck up He-Man's day.
What are we going to do today, Skeletor? We're going to destroy He-Man, like always.
Yep.
Pinky and the Brain.
Rita Repulsa's kind of in that same vein.
Oh, yeah.
Just like...
Heck, she becomes a good guy in some versions of the show.
Because, like, at some point, you have to look at... Like, if your civilization has been decimated and the only thing you can do is fight the 4 other teens that still exist that know about your power, it's like, maybe we should just stop. Maybe whatever we're doing isn't important anymore. It's kind of the same thing with the Transformers. Which I like Beast Wars for that aspect. Is this just like, why are we fighting? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing anymore? And then they go back to Cybertron and like, oh, now we actually have something to do and try to revitalize our planet. It's like, cool, new conflict, great. But there's a whole bunch of stuff. I like the evil for evil's sake villains in stories or prophecies or like gods and universe stakes. Yeah, I think like if it can be put down to like a essence of something, like a character that is just evil, they're not going to be like stealing candies from babies and making people I'm trying to think of like a very specific example, but I can't do it. There's a lot of TV show villains that are just like, I'm just going to make your day miserable for fun. And it's like, okay, great. Skeletor does it somehow, and I think a lot of people try to do that, and it just comes off as like, why are you an asshole? What's happening? So, But if it's like cosmic evil of just like, I want everyone in the universe to just go away, it's like, oh shit. like their whole purpose in life is to just stop everything. I like that. I like that level of it. Nothing matters except destruction. It's a matter of perspective, much human flesh. A little bit. Yeah, it's a horror movie. Okay. There's only so many ways to collect a Smurf. Hellsinger Bridge, what can I say? Gotcha. I really like... I think Agent Smith might be another one from the Matrix. Because there's really two conflicts in that story. One is the computer that just wants humans to like chill the fuck out, right? Like individuality is bad. Just be in the system and deal with it. And then you have the humans fighting it, and then you have Agent Smith, who also breaks out of the system, but is so hell bent on killing the humans that he has to like become them. I guess is kind of the weird thing. So that one I think is a little underrated because it just kind of gets washed under the rug as just he's a rogue agent. It's like that means something in that world. Like it's kind of important, but it just gets washed away. You're doing it, Falcor. Really, what I hate is lazy writing. I'll put it that way. All of these things can be good. I hate lazy writing. I feel like maybe I should make this goblin a little more cutesy. But Grumpy Goblin dressed as a dragon's pretty funny too. Catnip cats are funny. This does just look like a kobold vendor. We're having a sale on dragons. Come on down. Get your dragon armor, your dragon weapons. Sword of Dragon Slaying +2. Don't want a story about people getting trapped in snapshots by an animated Polaroid monster fighting the Power Rangers? I feel like that did happen. Looks very Adventure Time to me. We were just talking about, what the hell is it called? Shoot. The Lich.
Lich King?
Yeah. I think he needs a snoot. We'll put a snoot on it. A flump. Big old dragon tail. That's good. Knitting socks is fun. Yeah, spikes. I am really looking forward to the new Godzilla movie. I watched Godzilla, Shin Godzilla? It was Shin Godzilla. A little while ago. And I watched it and I was like, what the hell is going on? I think, Corvus, you might have been the one that said it was directed by the guy that did Neon Genesis. Evangelion.
I don't remember ever saying that.
Maybe it was Burning. Someone told me it was the guy that did Evangelion, and I was like, okay, that makes way more sense now. But Shin Godzilla was a trip. Apparently it was about Fukushima, so it's like, okay, I get that. I understand.
Shin Godzilla was the first Godzilla movie.
I mean, it just came out. Like,
oh.
It came out right after the Fukushima thing, so, you know, last 10 years.
Yeah, because there were like 2 Godzilla movies that just came out, like basically back to back. There's like Godzilla and Kong where they team up together.
And then Godzilla
which I kind of
King
want
of
to see.
Monsters.
And then
Shin Godzilla was giant penis face Godzilla.
Familiar with that version of Godzilla.
Look it up. Type in Shin Godzilla first form, and your mind will be blown. Okay, yeah, I remember the that one. That's a good Polaroid monster.
It's like that ice woman.
A little bit.
League.
Yeah, Liliandra. She was great. Ice characters are great. I'm super excited about the new Ghostbuster movie. It's all about some ice witch.
2016 is when Shin Godzilla came out. Oh dear lord, it's a little chode.
Penis Godzilla. It's great.
With like super thick thighs.
His little tiny arms.
Yep. It's like it literally looks like a tadpole version of Godzilla.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the intent. It gets super weird. Like most of the movie is just a bunch of people in an office building like talking at each other. And like, okay, that's not good. I wish this was only Godzilla, but like I said, I get where the director was going with it, and it's not a bad story. It's just I want more Godzilla, which is true about most Godzilla movies. The last one that got rebooted here in America, where they just like most of the movie is 5 army guys trying to move a nuke on a train. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't care about any of these people. Cut all the people out of this movie, and it would be a good movie. Like, you don't need any of this. The story is not interesting or really relevant.
Like, we don't need Bryan Cranston here.
He was probably the best part.
Oh, yeah.
Of the humans, but still, yeah, you didn't need him. You definitely didn't need him. Godzilla fighting all the weird bug things. So good. And the King of Monsters is great.
Yeah. They're like, oh, because this monster must be the king of all monsters. And it's like, nope, it's an alien. Because that is technically where King Ghidorah, however it's said, comes from. And his first ever debut, he's an alien from space.
Yeah, I think he's like a meteorite, right?
Yeah, like, there's like 2 of them that land, sent by an evil alien galactic empire. It's that one, he arrives in a like giant meteor, and then there's like a giant ice diamond thing, and it's Sawblade chicken.
Sawblade chicken. I forgot about Sawblade chicken.
Yep.
All right, enough with this one. We'll move on to the next one. I think we can probably do at least one more here. Green. Time is it? 12:30. Awful. Kobold Oath of Redemption Paladin and Fathomless Warlock, adorned with fins and webbing reminiscent of the sea drake. Okay. Can do. Can do. But I'm interested to see what -1 will be like.
I know, like, the director of who did the Godzilla and Kong movie, the newest one, said he's incredibly jealous of Godzilla -1. He's like, this is what a Godzilla movie should be like.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
Yep. Which I think it's kind of meant to be like a remake of the original.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's -1, I think. Is that it's basically a reboot.
Because it looks like a period piece.
A reboot without the rubber suits.
Hey, I like some of those rubber suits.
Hey, that's fine.
I think it was part of the charm.
I love me a Muppet. Can't go wrong with Muppets. I need more water. I'll be right back. Hang tight, everybody. Okay, there we go. Kobolds. Keep it, hide, and save it. Yeah. It'd be cool to own a bookstore, but the U.S. is kind of plagued with shitty copies of books.
What? It ain't so.
Too many Barnes and Nobles have gone out of business, so there's just like... It's really hard to go to a bookstore and actually see old books. At least where I live. There have been a handful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to Barnes & Noble, that's your first mistake.
No. I'm just saying, like... so many Barnes and Nobles have gone out of business that, like, even the little tiny bookshops are struggling. And they're just full of, like, overstock of those places. So... Yeah. A lot of people aren't trading in their books. Yeah, exactly. It's just like... Which is, even you can find good books there, but you can also find them online, and it's kind of killing the vibe, you know? A lot of the bookstores I've been to recently just... They don't carry old books. They only carry the new stuff, and then that's it. Because there aren't more Barnes and Nobles. So that's where people have to go, and that's what sells. It's like, yeah. Get it.
Get it while it's hot.
If you have not watched the second season of Good Omens, I highly suggest it. It's very funny. Takes place in a lot of Aziraphale's bookshop. A lot of it takes place in Aziraphale's bookshop. Da do da da do da da. Bookstores are struggling, and it kind of sucks. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure there are some big ones that still have a lot of old antiques, but like you kind of have to specialize in that, and I don't think that.
Yeah.
That's not a big thing in the America that I live in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want that, you probably need to be like in New York. Because I do know that there is a big rare book like convention that goes in New York where a lot of people will sell their rare books they have.
How you doing, Bernie? We're doing well. Drawing kobolds are fun. Lanky kobolds are fun too sometimes. I usually draw pretty chunky boys. But tiny ones are good too. Or lanky ones are good too. Didn't know they had that in New York. Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know when it is, so.
Yeah. I have a few friends that are writers. One of them's a movie writer, but the other two write books. And they both, like, yeah, a lot of their... less so from e-readers, because they still get, like, if people buy e-readers, you still sell the book, which is great, and it has, like, no overhead. So the e-readers are actually not that bad, but, like, audiobook is just, the format is changing. And that adds another step of production, because you have to hire somebody to read the book for you.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something they're struggling about. But then with that, yeah, you don't need the bookstores either. So kind of a bummer, but at the same time, I very much prefer ebooks because I can do other things while it doesn't have to take my full attention as it does to read. And I can't read in a car while I'm driving, so that's that's the other part of it. Which is usually when I have the most time to, like, listen to something. So I'm in the car. So I read more books. I get through more books because of it, but the bookstores suffer. Better for writers, worse for bookstores. I'll be right back. Sorry, everybody. Hang tight. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
What are we missing on chat here? See, the decline of bookstores is not reflection on the writers, but at least it's good. New writers are always good. Yeah, that's true. They pay the authors less than Audible has exclusive contracts. Audiobooks also have a monopoly problem. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I guess that's probably the case. I know you can self-publish a lot more easily than you used to be able to because of like Amazon's the way Amazon lets you publish now, which is good, but it also you still have to find ways to get the books out. So
Yeah. We'll say it's also really easier to like self-publish like comics as web comics
yeah,
now. As
That's
there's
true.
like several websites that allow you
dedicated
to,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, a handful of some of my favorite comics have been started as web comics. Nimona, I think, started as a web comic too.
Not familiar with that one.
It's got made into a movie on Netflix. K. Flay did some of the music. So there's a whole bunch of things I like. With wanting similar to what you're reading, new books are categorized finding what you want exactly and wanting something new to read. Yeah, like I said, I have a lot of family members that that are still very like avid readers. Like they go out and they just find new books. But for me, like Audible has been a great help in me getting into literature more. So I unfortunately am one of those people that like the new system. I used to go to Barnes and Nobles and stuff, and the other one that I can't remember what it was. Hastings, I guess. Hastings is more for movies, but still had a book section. I used to just go there and look at books, but then I always gravitated towards comic books and like art books over anything literary, because like it's hard to just discern what you're going to read without just reading some of it, and that took too much time. But that's how people used to spend their time. Some people still do. Nothing wrong with that. Audible needs serious competitors that are willing to poach authors outright for better pay. Interesting. Yeah, Audible's had some scummy moments, so you definitely need a rethink on that. But like, there's a what is the other one? Not Audible. Ebooks? No. There's a lot of books that are in the public domain, and you can just download them. You can download them from like the Library of Congress or something. Can't remember what it was. That doesn't sound right. But
I know there is an app where you can get audiobooks basically from like public libraries.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I just can't remember what it's called. Let's see if I can find it. But I loved that for a long time before I got Audible. Like that was, I listened to like Journey to the Center of the Earth. Bram Stoker was on there. There's tons and tons of old books that are great to listen to. They were free.
Yeah. Well, this
Libby
you can,
is the library one. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Because I know you can actually get like pretty well recognized audio books.
Oh, just from libraries. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. They were having a problem with that because they were like, you only bought one version of this book, so only one person can read it at a time. But if you're lending out the audiobook, that's not how that works. And it's like, ooh, technically that's true. But that, and I think that's just something that you're gonna have to like legislate and figure out. You know, maybe the libraries have to pay a little more for the audio version or something to license it out that way. But
It's kind of like an app version of Interlibrary Loan for audiobooks.
Yeah.
Which all public libraries are like part of that.
Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, then they buy one version of it, and then every library in the United States can get a digital copy of it instantly. So how do you justify that versus, letting the person sell their book one copy per library at least? So
Well, I don't think it really works like that per se.
well, so there was I don't know how it was, but this happened a few years ago where people were doing it this way. The libraries were basically renting out the audiobooks to hundreds of thousands of people a month, but they only ever bought the one license for it. And so a normal library, when they buy a new book, they'll buy 2 or 3 copies of it, and then those go out over time. But it's not the volume. That's a maximum of, if someone reads the book in a week and brings it back, 3 people a week get to read that. So people might buy the book. But with the audiobook, they can just give out the audiobook to anybody who wants it with one license. And then, like you said, with the interlibrary loan, can they buy one copy of the book and share that with any of the other libraries? That became a question that had to be answered, and I don't know if it's been legislated yet. Rental fees were where every person pays a percentage of the author, and that's distribution. Yeah, it's interesting. It's something that, because of the way we're going to audiobooks and digital copies of things, we just have to rethink how libraries pay for licenses of books. It's something we're going to have to do. I used to know when I was at the university, people would go and check out the textbook, because every textbook that exists is used in the college. There has to be at least 1 or 2 copies of it in the library. And so every now and again, people would come in and check it out, and then just check it out for the entire semester. They just keep coming back and rechecking it out, and that was really frustrating.
I think with the app there is a time limit. I think 2 weeks is what you're allowed
To rent it.
Yeah. And then it gets removed from your thing.
That would make sense.
Because it's not just with a single library. It's every library in the nation.
Okay.
It's or at least libraries who participate in it. So.
I think I might end up calling it here pretty soon. I'm just so tired. I remember something very similar happening with digital textbooks at universities. Yeah. Yep. The same thing. They'd have like 2 or 3 digital copies, but then they wouldn't rent it out anymore. And then they're like, what if we just let everybody rent it out? And it's like, no one's going to buy the books. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, good.
We got to figure this out. Yeah, because like textbooks is like a huge chunk of how professors make their money.
Some professors.
Some professors, yeah. Some professors get tenured, and it's a whole thing. Other professors have to cheat their students out of textbook money.
Yeah, I've only ever used one textbook that was written by a professor, and it was just $10.
Oh no! Yeah, I had one year. One of my psych professors said this. He's like, "Okay, here's the thing. This is the last year that this book is going to be in print, so I'm going to make it required reading. You guys should buy it. I wrote it. I'm going to make a shit ton of money off of it. So buy the whole version. We're only going to use like 2 things." It's like, okay. And then I've had other professors where they're like, "You're going to buy this book that I wrote. You need the digital code out of the back, and that's what we're going to use for the class." It's like, can't I just buy the digital code? It's like, no, you have to buy the whole book. It's like, all right. So I've had it both ways.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also definitely had professors that are like, I have a new version of this book out. You don't need it. Buy the 10-year-old copy. That's all you need. It's going to be way cheaper. So
My university doesn't do that stuff anymore. They just, OD university, just, you don't buy books anymore. They just give you the books that you need for the class.
Ah, yes. Lab fees.
No. Well, I mean, there is lab fees. Like, I think there's like one class, and it's not even like done by a professor on the campus.
Okay. They just have the books for you in class?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I think you just go to the library, pick them up, and you gotta turn them in at the end of the year.
Interesting.
Or semester.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Because textbook companies are scum of the earth.
Yeah.
That is a hill I will die on.
I don't disagree with you.
Hear that, Brill? You suck. Brill is a special company, publishing company, I think in Belgium. And they publish a lot of like philosophy, history, and religion books.
Okay.
And
it's first-hand experience with them.
Well, it's like me wanting books for research and proceeds to look at them online, and they're like $500 or more for like someone's book. I was like, yeah, no.
I think what's the most expensive book I ever bought? I think I had one year I bought a stack of textbooks and it cost me $900. I remember that. Yeah. I was super amped because I was like, I have all this money saved up for college. I'm not going to have to work this semester. I bought my books and then I went and got a job the next day. It's like, well, there's all my food money gone. So that sucked. Yeah, it was so much money that my bank canceled my credit card while I was walking home with the books. They called me like, someone just wiped out your account. And I was like, no, that was me. I did that.
You sure?
Yeah, they're like, oh, whoops. I'm like, well, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm like falling asleep here. I think I'm gonna call it. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Sorry I didn't get to Wednesday stream. College is getting too expensive. It's hard to justify it. I very much agree. Yeah, when I started college, it wasn't that bad. And then by the time I ended college, it was terrible, and now it's worse. So I definitely think there are jobs that you need to go to college for, like engineering or like being a doctor. But if you aren't interested in that, you can get away with, you can learn a lot without going to college. So you just got to work harder. Get some rest, take care of yourself. Yeah, no problem, Eldrick. I will do my best. Every time I go on vacation, I always end up being more tired after vacation. But that's the way it is. It's predatory. A little bit, yeah. Definitely. Some of the, like, I went to ITT Tech, and that felt scummy while I was going there, and then after I graduated, it was like, yep, okay, cool. So I'm glad the government's finally, like, pounding down on those guys. But hot take, companies should just pay for math training. Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing is, like, internships don't really exist anymore unless they're free internships. And even then, that's not really teaching you anything. It's just free labor. So I really think that colleges should be paid for by companies. And essentially when you finish with that degree, you get a job. Like, it's job training. It should have jobs lined up for you. And there could definitely be multiple types of colleges, but I think that needs to be more like in internships and what's the other word I'm looking for? If you want to become an electrician, you have apprenticeships. There need to be more apprenticeship programs available for people. There still are. Like, there still are a lot of them, and those are great. I've had a few friends go through them, and they loved it and are, still working those jobs. But there's a lot of college out there right now. I have a master's degree that I'm drawing kobolds with. Yeah, it's just it's hard. It's hard out there. So keep your eyes on the table. Next year, keep your eyes on the table. Oh my god. Keep your eyes open for what you want to do in life. Keep your dice on the table. Don't get discouraged. Like, college can be great. College can be really good. Partially because it teaches you a little bit more about, life and living on your own. And that, I think, is worthwhile. But you shouldn't have to pay a shit ton of money to do that. So, have a happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for letting me ramble. We'll be back. We'll be back next week. New year. We'll do the same Wednesday, Friday stream, I believe. If you would like to get a commission set up this week, I will do them into next week. But if you don't lock in your New Year's price this week, I will be going back to my regular prices next week. So think about that. Let me know. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year! Bye!
Bye.
Oh, we should see if there's someone to raid. Let's do that. I'm betting not, because that's how it works. Yeah, there's no one around. Everyone is off this week. Anybody around for a misdirect? No. Oh, yeah, January 8th. Sagas is having the launch party for the Kickstarter. Go check that out. I'll send everybody there for fun, but yeah, it's not till the 8th, so no problem. Bye, everyone. Happy New Year!